The Alabama Crimson Tide secure another edge rusher in this 2023 class as Keon Keeley, the latest to sign his letter of intent with the Crimson Tide. Alabama defeats Ohio State there and really defeats Notre Dame. Keeley, originally committed with the Fighting Irish, made a big announcement to decommit there. Now Alabama will secure his commitment, signs his letter out of Tampa, Florida. Berkeley Prep listed at 6'6", 245. What were your first thoughts when you saw him decommit from Notre Dame originally, and what are your thoughts now that he is signed with Alabama?
Well, my first thoughts when he decommitted from Notre Dame in August were, Alabama's about to get a big commitment here, and I went ahead and but I don't like to do this too often, and I think he's probably one of the few players that I did this with throughout this entire recruiting cycle. Is I submitted a prediction for him like 3 or 4 months in advance. So, and it was a pretty high confidence prediction. I think I did 70% confidence rating that he was going to sign with Alabama back in August, and then he decided to take more visits, and Ohio State became a big factor, and he really liked Florida. And I was like, man, I really don't want to change my prediction here, but if I have to, that's going to be fine. But I'm glad I didn't have to do that. This was obviously a big win for the Crimson Tide. Big win for Coleman Hutzler, Alabama's outside linebackers coach, because he did a great job developing that relationship. Becoming a really big factor in his pursuit and the reason why he chose Alabama. But I think you look back at what Alabama's been able to do, with these elite pass rushers, Will Anderson, Dallas Turner. You can go back to, Tim Williams or, Courtney Upshaw, and two of his favorite players growing up, prior to even getting in high school, were Terrell Lewis and Christian Miller. Those were two guys that, he really liked growing up. That was probably they were the first two guys he mentioned the first time I ever interviewed him, as guys that he really liked watching at Alabama throughout the year. So he's going to be used in a similar role as those players, coming off the edge, but, being able to get to the ball carrier and have a lot of, make a lot of plays in the backfield. He's a very disruptive pass rusher. I mean, he's had close to 40 sacks in the last 2 years combined, which including 19 sacks as a senior. He's going to be a really tough player to block on the outside. And then, I think, another big thing that probably gets lost in the shuffle a little bit is you look at this offensive line class that's coming in, these freshmen and some of the guys that are on campus now. There's a lot of talent there. A lot of guys that he's going to be going up against every single day at practice that are going to help make him better and get him prepared for Saturday. So huge win for Alabama over Notre Dame, over Ohio State, over Florida. In the end, it came down to Alabama and Ohio State, but he ends up choosing the Crimson Tide, and they are extremely happy. And a lot of the commits are happy because a lot of those commitments, including guys like Richard Young, Justice Haynes, were recruiting him for a very long time, and I thought in the end, you don't always commit just because players are trying to recruit you there. But I think knowing some people, being able to have that sort of connection, spending time with them during his couple trips to Tuscaloosa over the course of the last 4 or 5 months, I think that played a little bit of a factor in that decision.
Yeah, definitely a guy that was recruited by others in the classes. They ultimately swing him, along with some other factors there as well. I mean, look at the tape, the explosiveness, the size and speed, just a dynamic pass rush here. What do you, if you had to compare him to somebody, who would be that comparison? And what do you see here as far as playing time in year number one? Obviously, still, Alabama is loaded at this position.
They are loaded. I mean, they've got some really good talent there. Will he have a chance to see the field early? I think he will. I mean, even if it's in a small capacity, I think it's going to be hard to keep this guy off the field just because of his talent. You look at him there. I mean, this is a big dude who's 6'6", 250 pounds, and can absolutely fly. So I don't know how Alabama is going to be able to keep him off the field this upcoming season because he's got all the talent in the world. I think you just got to develop that talent and kind of see where it takes you. But I do think he's definitely an outside linebacker, an edge rusher in Alabama's scheme, and he's going to be a major contributor for Alabama, whether that's as a freshman or a little bit down the road.
Going to be a fun player to watch, whether it is this year or not here. Could watch this tape all day long as we see him just destroy some of these guys. Guys, for more like this, to continue to watch videos like the tape here of Keon Keeley and all things in the world of Alabama recruiting, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to have more videos throughout the day breaking down this early signing period. Don't forget, guys, join us at BamaInsider.com as well for articles breaking all this down and everything else going on in the world of Alabama football. Hit the like video, guys, and get in the comments as well. Let me know what you think about Keon Keeley, about this flip, and about Alabama's 2023 classes. We see it continue to load up on this first day of National Signing Day 2022. For Andrew Bone, my name is Trey Yanity. The Crimson Tide secure Keon Keeley away from Notre Dame as he is signed with the class of 2023.